Guys, you know, I wasn't going to make another video on the Intellivision Amico, but it's like one thing after another with this company. It's absolutely nuts how many oofs this company can possibly do. Again, I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying to be impartial here. It's a company. You have every right to criticize it. You have every right to support it, no matter what side you choose. But this is ridiculous. My friend Rerez posted today on his Twitter in regards to a marketing video that was made 3 years ago. So yeah, this was a marketing video used in 2019. My friend Shane Lewis from Rerez, he pointed out a weird situation here, which is really unfortunate, and I'll explain in a minute. So this says, looks like I need to clarify something that Intellivision Amico did in a marketing campaign. They took a video of us and cleverly cut it to make it sound like I was very positive about their console. So he leaves a link. He says, check the video directly at 3:59. This is false. So evidently, in this marketing campaign, it also features John Riggs, RG85, and a few others. But we'll talk about that as well in a minute. So you can see right here.
If anyone's going to make this a success and prove everyone wrong, it's going to be Tommy Tallarico.
Yep. The more I play it.
So those 3 seconds, right? Oh, big deal. He said if anything's going to be a success or prove it's a success, it's going to be Tommy Tallarico. All right. Well, continuing on, you can see right here, Shane Lewis points out the full quote was this. I put what they cut out in red. Here's a direct link to my full quote directly at 5:22. So he leaves a link to his thing, and the full quote in red that they cut out was, if anyone's going to make this a success and prove everyone wrong, it's going to be Tommy Tallarico. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm on uneven ground here. I personally don't think it's going to be a success. I'm going to be honest right here, guys. Taking somebody's quote out of context like that for a marketing video without asking permission is a pretty scummy and deceitful thing to do. Now, you could say this is slander, and you can get upset and make a live stream about it and say that this video is 3 years old, and whatever points you want to make, that's fine and dandy. You're allowed to defend yourself, but there's no denying that. Now, in the past, I've worked with companies like Redbox, Totino's Pizza, Otterbox, several brands, and anytime they wanted to use a piece of footage of mine, they would ask for permission. Hey, Eric, may we use your video or snippets of your video for our marketing campaign, for advertisers, for investors, which this is what's being used for investments. These videos, these marketing videos that Intellivision are making are for their Republic investments, for them to raise funds. So ideally, you would want to use a marketing video to encourage people to invest in your product. But the problem here is Shane's words were taken out of context. Shane's words were edited to make it look like he was 100% positive on this product to encourage people to invest in it. And that's where I have a problem with it. That's where I feel this is pretty scummy. And this is an example of why I got turned away from even caring about the Amico, on top of the delays and just kind of like the weird situations going on and the behavior of you know, not just Tommy, but other employees and diehards, just how they seem to just come at people in a weird way. Like, could you imagine if Doug Bowser, who's the president of Nintendo, like attacked people on social media for not liking Animal Crossing or the Nintendo Switch Online expansion pack, or for asking where Mother 3 is? Like, it's like, come on. Well, anyways, let's continue to this. Let's take a look at Rerez's original video so we can see full context of this quote. So he links it directly. We're going to watch it directly at 5:22.
It was 10-10-20. If anyone's going to make this a success and prove everyone wrong, it's going to be Tommy Tallarico. Yep. So we'll see how it goes, but I'm on uneven ground here. I personally don't think it's going to be a success, but a success for us as gamers, it might find a completely different market, and that's where it will live.
All right, next question.
All right, so completely, you saw that. He went on to say that he doesn't think it's going to be one personally. And it's okay to say that if anybody's going to make the console a success, it's going to be Tommy. That almost falls in line with my opinion the other day. It's Intellivision's fault whether this succeeds or fails. It's not anybody else's fault. It's not Smash JT's, it's not Retro Bros, it's not Saggies, it's not whatever supporters are out there that support it. It's not their fault. At the end of the day, it's the employee's fault. It's the marketing company that makes videos like this, editing people's words out of context. It's fault. It's delaying stuff's fault. It's adding in Phil Adams, who is part of the Calico Chameleon's fault. It's doing all the business decisions. The company itself is who is at fault whether this thing succeeds or not. And this right here is another icing on the cake. And it seems like other people on here are not too happy either. In fact, one of the other people that were in this actual video is RGT85, and he actually went on to record to confirm that he, as someone who was in that video, evidently, no, they did not ask me. So he wasn't even asked for his footage to be used in the marketing, which it's etiquette. It's standard etiquette for companies to ask for permission to use your quotes or your footage for marketing purposes. And to edit somebody's words is what's even more fucked up. But taking a look at this, there's several people that are kind of opposed to what's going on here. And he was actually asked, why is he making a stink out of this 3 years later? Because this video, 2019, I believe the actual date of it is January 7th, 2020, but it's called the 2019 Influencers and YouTubers Year in Review. So this took footage from videos back in 2019, and he was actually asked or told, you waited 3 years to say something about this. Well, it was pointed out, according to Shane from Reddit, which I have the Reddit thread here, but you could see he replies in response to Saggy Melons, who actually asked, you know, why did you wait for 3 years to talk about it? Which that's a fair question to ask. But he said, I didn't know it existed until people started talking about it today. It just got shared on Reddit. So evidently, Shane Lewis was not aware of it. You know, he wasn't asked about it. He's not going to be aware that his footage or his content was used for it, if that makes any sense. So you can see right here, somebody on Twitter actually made this post. And it says, 25 months ago, Intellivision published a super cut of influencers raving about Amico, including sizzles of how it'll be the best-selling console of all time with 200 million plus. Fun to watch in retrospect. So they're looking on it, and you can see Shane Lewis right here. Rerez Shane, he asked, why are we in this cut? It's taken way out of context. And he shows his quote with the bold right here being the removed stuff, and he directly links to it. So this is a sleazy move on the marketing company of Intellivision, any way you want to slice it, to actually go and take things out of context. And you can see right here on Twitter, there's a few people sharing it. Somebody by the name of No Swear Gamer says, turns out Intellivision took a popular YouTuber out of context and one of their videos to make it look like they supported the project. This video was included in the Republic campaign to attract investors. So if that's the case, if this was included in the Republic campaign, showing people's words out of context, that is a problem. This ain't a good look. And you can go down right here. We have a few other people. There's Saggy Melons. She said, bring this up 3 years later. It doesn't matter how many years later down or whatever. If somebody's brought aware of it, because they weren't informed that their content was used, that's the issue here. Now, if Shane knew his video was used in the past, but, you know, maybe he didn't, maybe he didn't, maybe he did. Who knows? He's claiming he wasn't aware of it. He was claiming he has no idea why he's in the cut of that video. So if it took 3 years for him to realize his footage is being used, that's more than enough proof that he was not asked. I would be upset too. Now you can see Derek Moore. Usually Intellivision was polite enough to stick to just saying lies, not cutting footage of someone to do so. And Review Tech USA right here says, this is what makes me angry about the Intellivision. Who gives a shit about the console itself? What I care about is the shitty business practices surrounding it and dragging influencers' names through the mud to poorly protect their image. And that hits the nail on the head right there. You know, I don't care about the console. It could succeed or fail on its own merit. If it finally comes out and it does well, it does well. If it fails, it fails. Regardless of what happens, whether people are making videos about it, whether people are criticizing it or supporting it, if the console fails, it was always going to fail. And shady things on top of it don't help. Stuff like this does not help the situation. Continuing on, you can see Super Metal Dave 64, Smash JT, everybody saying it's just going, you know, it's getting worse. Just when you think things are going to go quiet, says PK in the universe. Silvery Fighter says a definition of a scummy way to dodge all the criticisms targeting the Amico. This is like some crazy ass defender would do something out of their radicalized support for it. A good example of a positive support for the game console is respecting and valuing customers. Again, I never had a problem with anybody supporting the Amico to begin with or trashing it. But when you see stuff like this, stuff being taken out of context, people's words being used against them, this is a fucking problem. And this just adds to the situation of what's going on. This doesn't do them any favors. This is not good marketing. At the end of the day, this is not a good look. So I just want to kind of bring aware to it because my friend Rerez was involved with this. And honestly, he's always been a pretty clear-cut guy when it comes to his criticisms and his videos. He's always been transparent. He's always been very wide open when it comes to any kind of like endorsements that he does or any kind of brand deals or sponsorships on his channel. He's always taken pride in doing that, and that's how he's always tried to differentiate himself. And yeah, this might be 3 years later, but he's just now finding out about it because he wasn't informed or told about it. And I'm going to take his word from it because he's never came across as somebody deceitful and anything like that. And for him to actually point out and go out of his way to tell Twitter that something was being falsified under his words, I'm going to take his side with it. So let me know what you guys think. I'll see you on the next one. Thank you for watching.